Here's the good news, gang. You don't have to be technical. You don't need to know code. You just need to understand how AI works at a basic level so that you can start using it in your life and in your business. And today I'm going to teach it to you like I would teach it to a 10-year-old using kitchen smoothies and wedding cakes. Let's make this make sense together. Stay with me. It's the kitchen analogy. Okay, think of AI like a kitchen. It's a nice kitchen, right? The entire kitchen, that is artificial intelligence. It's the space where everything happens, right? The environment, the family gathers, you eat, you hang out. Inside that kitchen, you've got appliances, you got blenders, you got ovens, you got microwaves. That is machine learning. They take the raw ingredients, data, and they turn it into something useful. Our recipes, that's deep learning, a process. Inside of those appliances are recipes, a set of steps the machine follows to learn and improve. The person in the kitchen might be you, might be your friend, might be your spouse. That person, chef, that's the one using the tools. That's your large language model like ChatGPT or Google Bard, okay? So recap, AI is the kitchen. Machine learning are the appliances, deep learning are the recipes, LLMs are the chef. Once you see it like this, everything else will fall into place. Let's talk about how machine learning works a little bit deeper. Imagine you're teaching a blender to make your smoothie. You give it strawberries, bananas. All right, it's gonna sound weird, but imagine that you're teaching the blender to make a smoothie, right? So you give it strawberries, bananas, maybe a little almond milk again and again and again. So what happens? Eventually it starts to figure out how to make the smoothie on its own. That's machine learning. The model sees examples, spots patterns, and gets better over time. Now, if you label those smoothies that you make, this is mango, that's whatever, that is supervised learning. If you just throw everything in with no labels and let the blender figure it out, that's unsupervised learning. So supervised, you teach it along with answers. Unsupervised, it finds the answers on its own. So if data is the ingredient, machine learning is the appliance that processes it. Make sense? Deep learning equals layered thinking. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit more about deep learning is just a more complex type of machine learning. Think of it like moving from toast to a multi-tiered wedding cake, right? The more layers the cake has, the more advanced that it is. Same with deep learning. It has layers of neurons that work together to recognize and replicate all of these complex patterns. And this is where things like facial recognition, speech generation, and large scale forecasting come from. So a machine learning equals toast, deep learning equals the 5-layer wedding cake. So let's talk about generative versus discriminative. Not all AI creates stuff. Some of it just judges, like your wife judging you from afar, staring at you, judging you. That you've been judged. Have you been always judged? Oh my God, stop judging me. Anyway, if a model sorts or categorizes, this is a cat, that's or identifying spam, that's discriminative AI. But if a model creates new content, text, images, audio, video, that is generative AI. So generative, make me something. Discriminative, is this what I think it is? Please confirm. GPT is generative, Midjourney is generative, Gmail spam filter, discriminative. And this difference, it really matters because tools like ChatGPT are powered by LLMs, large language models. And here's how they work. Those models are pre-trained by reading everything from the internet, literally books, articles, Wikipedia, Reddit, all of it. Then they're fine tuning that for a specific job. So customer support, healthcare, legal, content creation. It's like sending a generalist chef to culinary school and then putting them in a sushi restaurant to specialize, right? So big companies are doing this every day. They take generative AI, fine tune it using their own internal data. And that's how things like hospitals and law firms and even real estate teams use AI to work smarter. So why does all of this matter to you? And why do you need to understand all of this stuff that sounds like we're hanging out at MIT or Stanford and talking to a bunch of quants that know mathematics and you might have gotten a 0 on your stats exam in college? Maybe that was just me. So why should you? Because once you understand this structure, then you could stop treating AI like a novelty, like a toy, right? And you could start treating it like a power tool. Okay. So you need to build a model. You don't need to train anything from scratch. You need to understand conceptually how these layers interact with each other. And you just need to ask it the right questions. You need to give it the right prompts and understand where human thinking will still lead us. And there's always going to be that human element. So, okay, let's recap. I know this was a crazy one. That's metaphor. If AI is the kitchen, you don't need to become the appliance. Sounds weird, but stay with me. You don't need to memorize the recipes, right? You just need to be the chef that knows how to use the tools. So I'm going to show you my 3 side hustles that you could start right now using free AI tools and make some cheddar. with all this knowledge that you have bouncing around in your head. Click over there to watch. It's getting fun now, right, guys? Let's go.